let's move on. We're going to talk next about Fire Emblem Warriors. I've been sitting on this code for a couple weeks. It came in right before I had to go back home for the funeral. Unfortunately, I did take my Switch with me on the trip, but I just wasn't in the mood to play. So I got back, downloaded it, and started giving it a go. Matt, how much time have you spent with this game at this point?
I'm on like chapter 12 or 13 of the career, so probably a few hours.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 or 3 chapters is probably enough to have a handle on what's happening, really.
It definitely is.
It is very much, I mean, obviously it's a Warriors game, so blah, 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 but it's very much in the mold of Hyrule Warriors, I think.
Yeah.
There's a little more happening on the battlefield. There's a little more character work going on. I do really like, there's nods to Fire Emblem, like in how Fire Emblem plays. Some of it is annoying, like the way everybody levels up in the middle of battle. There is a more streamlined mode you can pick that does not interrupt things like that, but I don't do it because I like to know where my guys are and what they're doing.
Well, the one thing I would say is when you start the game, it does give you a lot of options to kind of shape how you want to play it.
But it doesn't explain what they mean, so you're sort of like, I guess I want to do that? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I wished I had turned off like all the tips and the tutorial stuff.
Yeah, that gets a little oppressive.
Yeah, at first it's really annoying because they are just popping up constantly and kind of stopping the action. And with this game, like maybe Nintendo is counting on kids playing this game.
Well, I mean, most Nintendo exclusives kind of have that thing where like you have to teach someone to play like they've never picked a controller up before.
Yeah, it's really heavy-handed in this one though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just sort of it's Hyrule Warriors is like that too. I just sort of power through it. I do like that there's a little more emphasis on strategy in this. There's a little more emphasis on taking locations. You can switch between characters whenever you want, which kind of like brings in the team.
Sometimes it
gives you a certain number of certain characters once things are going. Like right now, most of my missions, I have like 4 characters I can swap between. You can team up with those characters and like kind of keep them as like sort of a tag partner of sorts. So it still feels like Fire Emblem in some ways. Like there's still an element to that I think is pretty good.
Controls are very simple.
Yeah.
Light attack, heavy attack.
Yeah, basically.
Roll, and then you have your ultimate.
Right, and then you can tap. The combos are very simple, just like Dynasty Warriors. It's just light, and you can drop into the other attack form and get a combo or a finisher out of it usually. You can upgrade all of them to get a couple more hits out of your combo chains. The end of the hard combo chains tends to be things that just take down. Even normal combos like that one you just saw. Like I've killed 100 people with that combo.
Yeah.
Like it's just the kill numbers go up like crazy. It should give you a clue in that. There's a character named Anna who opens a pop-up store in every level that you can go get like a piece of. Basically, it's a piece of like a tile puzzle like from the DS like puzzle swap thing, the Mii thing, and her trigger to pop up is 1,000 kills, which happens like that
very quickly.
I mean, there's no question. So yeah, I mean, and there's that like you saw there's that little like circular like meter there. That's the stun meter. So if you get an opening on a guy, and then he gets that meter, and then if you hack it down to nothing, you basically do an auto like super combo thing on him. I don't know if that was in previous games, like previous Warriors games or not, but it's a fun little mechanic that has a little bit of a. I guess it's not really strategy, but like it ties in with the weapon triangle that Fire Emblem is based on, with the axes and swords and spears. So spears beat swords, swords beat axes, axes beat spears. So you are actually at a disadvantage if you have a sword character and you go up against a spear character. Not that much, because I mean, if you're up against a named Fire Emblem character, maybe. But if you're up against like a captain or something, and he has a spear and you have a sword, you're still gonna win. Like the heroes in this game are obscenely overpowered.
The game I have a lot of issues with this game, but the biggest one is that it's just too damn easy.
It's very easy.
I feel like I could play this game with my butt, and like seriously, like I even thought about like doing that demo here on the show and like literally playing it with my butt and finishing a level. It is so easy.
Well, I don't think my health has ever dropped below 2/3 full.
And they're just constantly giving you health.
Right.
And I don't think I've ever used a health vial.
No.
Like it's way too simple. And maybe, I don't know, I'm about 5 hours into it, and I just don't feel like I've really had a challenge at all.
No. I mean, I'm probably about, what, chapter 12, chapter 13, it's the same thing. And of course, I've just gotten through the section where you basically split your forces in two, and one side meets the Hoshiden army from Fire Emblem Fates, and the other meets the Nor Empire from Fire Emblem Fates, and then you come back together at the end. But it's all the same. It's the Marvel crossover thing where everybody has the misunderstanding and gets in a big fight, and at the end you beat the living shit out of like thousands of troops, and they're like, "Oh, I misheard you. Sorry, let's all team up now." It's just like, what? Okay. I mean, I don't. There's nothing. There's no. It's paper thin.
Yeah.
And,
the plot is really dumb.
Yeah, which is not. I mean, Fire Emblem games aren't Tolstoy, but they're usually a little better than this.
Yeah. I don't know. I would not recommend buying this game.
Not at full price, no. I mean, I didn't buy.
To me, this is like.
I didn't buy Hyrule Warriors for full price either. I got it for like $20 at Target, and I thought that was a fine price to pay.
Yeah, this is like the perfect like $20 game, basically.
Yeah, but we know Nintendo, and it will not be $20 for years.
No, it may never go down to $20. But that's what I would recommend buying this game at. I will say, I think it does a pretty classy job of handling the IP.
Yeah.
And you can tell that Team Ninja actually did some consultation with Nintendo on it and said, hey, what are the important elements of it?
Especially having played a couple Dynasty Warriors games and Muso All-Stars recently, this feels way better than those games.
I would rather play this than
no
pretty
question.
much Dynasty Warriors or any of them. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I really love Fire Emblem. But
it's also this game and Hyrule Warriors feel a lot better to play.
They do.
Than the normal Koei output.
I agree, and they're much less sterile, and they're a lot more fun and invigorating. I mean, the one thing I'll say about it is that no matter, you can suck at this game and feel like you're amazing at it.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to do amazing combos and pull off amazing, just wipe out like 100 enemies with like one swipe or whatever. And it's like pulling off an ultimate. It's just you push one button and it automatically targets all the enemies.
And then if that doesn't work, you can pull the R trigger and activate your awakening bar, which makes you even more powerful. Like there's no way you're losing.
Nope.
In this game. Like it's
you basically just grind your way all the way through.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say is, with the Switch being a handheld console hybrid, this is kind of a good game on handheld.
Yeah.
It's harder.
You don't want like a hard line hack and slash thinking game if you're like on a plane.
Well, it's like playing Zelda or whatever in handheld mode. That's fine when you're sitting on the couch, but if you're actually out in the world, playing really complicated, in-depth games on a handheld, to me, it doesn't really click. This is kind of one of those mindless games that you can pull out, play a couple hours of, mash your way through a few levels, put it away, come back and pick it up. So I think it maybe as a handheld game, it has a little bit more value. But as far as just sitting on your couch and playing several hours of it, I got tired of this game really quickly. And I do not recommend picking it up, particularly when there are plenty of other really good games available for Switch.
I mean, maybe if you're a really hardcore Fire Emblem fan,
you're going to buy it no matter what.
Who also likes the very specific games that they're drawing from, because this doesn't cover the whole spread of Fire Emblem by any means, and there's some DLC coming that will help with that, but it's recent stuff for the most part, and that's about it. The English voice acting is awful,
so bad,
and then you can download the Japanese voice pack, and I don't think that's very good either. And now I can't understand what they're saying on the battlefield because a lot of it's not subtitled.
Well, I'll say one thing. A lot of people complained about Metroid Other M's Story, which was another Nintendo first-party game developed by Team Ninja. But, man, Metroid Other M looks like it deserves a Pulitzer after playing this game.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know.
There's at least no character assassination in this game.
I don't know. I guess it depends.
Well, I mean, I have
perspective.
assassinated a few people, but I mean, it's what they did to Samus in that game is not comparable, because most of the characters, the main central characters in this, are new.
Yeah.
Which is even weirder, because it's do you really need more characters in the? There's a weird. The story is basically about like something happens and someone's trying to bring back the Chaos Dragon, and so all these worlds are kind of mushing together, and that's why you keep meeting Fire Emblem characters, and no one really knows what's going on. But everyone decides the best thing to do is have really, really big fights.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Sure. Why not?
But I think this is kind of It's odd because this is a release schedule filler.
Yeah.
This is a game that typically would come out during those Nintendo doldrums, those 6-month periods where you're not getting any first-party games from Nintendo, and this is what you get.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this came out when there are games to buy and play.
Yeah, you don't really need this game right now.
Like,
you've got Mario right here, and Xenoblade is coming like in a month and a half, not even that. And like, I don't know, maybe check back with this one in the spring.
Yeah.
You know?
If Nintendo were smart, it would have probably released this in the spring.
Yeah, it's a good. It feels like it'd be a good February, March game.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not into like probably whether they're putting out like Yoshi or Kirby in that window, probably.
All next year, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting.
So,
Yoshi and Kirby.
I mean, I think it's fun and it feels good to play, but it's super brain dead even for a Warriors game.
Yeah, I mean, you also have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming up. It's like,
I mean, this scratches a different itch, but like, look, if you haven't already bought this sight unseen, because it is exactly what it says. Like, like if you want a Fire Emblem game that's a Dynasty Warriors game, you're done. Like,
there it is.
This is exactly what you want, and you can decide how much money that's worth to you.
And it does have a lot of the same issues as other Dynasty Warriors games, meaning you fight the same enemies over and over and over again, and they don't really change their behaviors at all.
But I enjoy it, but it's, it went in its case when Mario arrived, and I don't see me choosing to boot it up in favor of the 4 or 5 other things that have come out this week and are coming out in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed with it, really, because it's exactly what I expected it to be, but, like, I can't get
I didn't expect it to be good, and it's not.
I expected it to be exactly what it is, and I am pleased enough by that, but I can't tell anybody to run out and buy it unless this is exactly what you want today.
I'm pretty surprised
And today, like, I can't imagine that's what you want right now.
No way.
On your Switch.
No, I can't. I've been kind of surprised at how high the review scores have been for this.
Well,
I mean, it's sitting at like 7, 8-ish. Like,
it's that Nintendo bump.
That's too high. It's way too high.
It is too high, but it's Fire Emblem, so it gets.
I guess.
Bonus
Does Fire Emblem get a bump too now?
I don't know.
Apparently, every Nintendo game does.
Is it exclusive on the Switch? Maybe it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I would not spend $60 for this game. Is it even $60?
Yeah,
it is. Full
it is
price.
$60 and a $19 season pass.
Wow, that's some wishful thinking right there.
I bought the game. I don't regret. I mean, it's exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I'm a Fire Emblem fan. I like the character designs, but I knew what I was getting into, and it sure is what I expected to get into. And I will go back to it. I probably, if I wasn't on doing this show, I probably would have waited until the spring, and maybe hoped for like a $20 off moment or something. Because these, I mean, I waited.
Nintendo never cuts the price of first-party software
because they don't have to. And I waited 2 years and change for Hyrule Warriors to drop to where I wanted it to be. But
it's a long wait.
Yeah,
that's some serious patience.
But I did play. I mean, I played it for like 30 hours when
Yeah.
I got it. I mean, it's the same thing. It's totally mindless, but it has these characters that I like, and
See, I'm far more attached to the characters from Zelda than the characters from Fire Emblem.
Well, I don't even
though I probably spent more time with Fire Emblem characters than Zelda characters.
True, but I mean, I can't even name most of the characters in Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, there's Marth, and I mean, look, I'm naming the characters that were in Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
It's like the characters that are in Smash Brothers and the characters that I have amiibos of. Those are the Fire Emblem characters I remember, right?
I think most people probably are on the same page there.
But I just like the character designs of Fire Emblem, and I think they translate real well here.
Yeah, surprisingly, for a game that's pretty much a strategy RPG, that it works so well in a hack and slash. So
the character, I think they translate real well to amiibos too. I think the Fire Emblem characters are some of the coolest designs Nintendo puts out on a regular basis.
Yeah, and they make a lot of them.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, we should also mention that you can choose permadeath in this game.
Right, there's the Fire Emblem.
We forgot to mention that.
You can pick casual or classic, just like the current Fire Emblem games.
And so when you lose someone, they're gone for good.
Forever.
Yeah, I did not choose that, by the way. Did you?
No, although I have not lost anyone, so it's
I haven't either.
I don't know if that's even a factor.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty hard to die in that game. So.